basic elimination. The T-Rex is saying, come on, Limon, come on, Limon. He's about 4.9 seconds back from
What's up, guys? It's Lewis here. It is a day after the MultiGP Championships ended for 2020, but I just wanted to pop in at the beginning of the video to say that I was going to try to record everything chronologically, but unfortunately it didn't work out that way. I had a bunch of problems with my quads, I had homework to do, I had a lot of things that were taking up my time. So to kick things off, first I flew from Roanoke down to Melbourne, Florida, where I rented my U-Haul. Yes, you heard me correctly. You cannot rent a car when you're my age, which is 19. You have to rent a U-Haul. And yeah, that kicks us off to day one. All right, everyone, it is day one of the 2020 MultiGP World Championships. I am here at my wonderful Fairfield Inn & Suites, and yeah, I have my ride right here, and it's our first day. So today's gonna be a practice day. I'm gonna check in. I'm gonna do all the stuff that I need to do to get all signed up, and then yeah, get practicing. And then tomorrow will be when qualifying starts. So how the format works is that on day one, which is a Thursday, it's practice. Everyone gets practice packs. There's no like different brackets or anything going on like that. And so we were supposed to get 10 packs. I was only able to get like 3 or 4 in. I was only able to record one of those packs, which I'll be showing shortly, but I had a lot of like technical problems with my quads, and yeah, a bunch of things weren't going very well in terms of equipment, but it was a pretty eventful first day. There was a massive like rainstorm that came in. There was a little bit of sleet coming in too. It was crazy. The rain was super intense. It was almost like a mini hurricane. And then there was also a rocket launch later that night. That was pretty sick. I think SpaceX was launching a satellite. So yeah, super eventful. But let's roll that first DVR of practice.
Waterfall, and there's no stopping us right now. I feel so close to you right now. Stopping us right now. I feel so close to you right now. Stopping us right now. There's no stopping us right now.
Shoot. Fast forward to Friday. I flew my first 5 qualifying packs in the morning, and qualifying packs are really what count. Practice packs, you can pretty much do anything you want, but qualifying packs is where it counts. And I was super nervous for my first 5, and I was able to get 9 total. But for the first 5, I was super nervous. I was kind of shaking, and I wasn't able to record anything just because I was super focused on trying to get a good time. And I got an okay time, but I really didn't do that well. And so I went back home, took a nap, and then I came back later that night to try again with some new energy, and I was feeling really good. So I have one recording here of me getting my best qualifying time.
Looks like we have 5 racing this week, but really we only have 3.
FPV 27.2. FPV 30.8. Pilot in Command 39.2. Orbit FPV 26.3. 1 minute left. ReUpload 31.9. 45 seconds left.
Correction.
So there that was. There was my best qualifying time. I still made a lot of mistakes. I wasn't super happy with that run, but you know, it was better than nothing. That put me ranked 57th out of 120. So I was pretty much put right in the middle of the pack. That was on the southeast track. On the previous day, I was on the northwest track, so there were 2 tracks set up at the time. And then that northwest track, meanwhile, while I was flying, was getting torn down and moved to the stadium, which is where all the events would be happening on Saturday. Saturday was the big day, and I only had 2 chances. The first chance, if I didn't make it, I'd be put into the losers bracket, and if I lost there, I'd be done. So I only had 2 packs, 2 batteries, I should say, in order to make it count. And honestly, the stadium track was a little bit different. They had a couple of gates, especially kind of in the middle of the track, in that middle section. They had gates that were taken down because of the high winds. The winds were like they were getting up to 20 miles an hour, kind of consistently, and gusts were, I mean, even well above that. It was really intense. Everyone was adding 10 seconds to their best time. Even the fastest pilots were going a lot slower than usual. So I know that this is probably going to look a bit slower, but I was fighting a ton of wind. The DVR module that I'm recording the video on, I had it in my pocket, so it was probably sheltering a lot of the wind, but it was really windy. So I was struggling, but here is that first race.
Round 1. 4 go up, 4 go down. Everybody, goggles down. Any verbal objections on video?
No.
Let's go move. Arm your quads.
Yeah, exactly.
Going live on the toes in less than 5.
now, and I just
New FPV 34.5. Lundy FPV 37.2. Tripling 38.2. Cherokee 42.2. Milky 47.8. One minute left. Orbital Command 53 flat. .45 seconds left. FPV 37.6. Lundy FPV 35.3. 30 seconds left.
All right, so on that first race, I thought I did really well. I ended up pretty much finishing first out of everyone. I was super stoked, and then I found out that I got disqualified. And near the end, you can kind of see where I kind of get messed up because of the wind on the triple spiral gates, and I accidentally go through backwards on all three of them. I continued the spiral as if nothing happened, but I was facing the wrong direction. So unfortunately, I got disqualified. And it's funny because that rule where you can get disqualified for going backwards was already overturned 3 weeks ago, but it's not going into effect until 2021. So I got put out of the winner's bracket because of that disqualification. And I was super bummed about that. But I had one more chance to make it count, and here's that final chance that I had.
Alright, any verbal objections on video? Arm them up!
How about arm your quads, going live and tone, less than 5.
And I recall the past real vaguely. I remember everything they say. Maybe thought that I was crazy, thinking that one day they'd see my name. Love being alone and always moving closer. Knew exactly what I wanted to have. Fear of growing older, chip all on my shoulder. Told myself I'm never looking back. Now
Terminator 41.3. New FPV 41.3. Ford RC 42.3. Monster 45.5. K1 MP 50.4.
Your time in the parking lot of God's until immediately, please.
That's me.
7.8.
I'm sick of always living in the past. I'm sick of feeling like I just keep chasing. But that'll never be that fast. Just leave me alone, I'll do it on my own. And I will let them know when the lights shine bright.
Monster 53.1.
All those I'm close, I'm coming here to show how to live life right now.
New FPV 36 flat. New FPV gun.
So I finished first on that race, and I was super amped about it. There were so many people crashing, there was so much going on. But if you could hear the audio, which was a little hard to hear, but other pilots were having some trouble during that race. Unfortunately, someone was freestyling one of their drones in the parking lot, which is a no-go. You're not supposed to power up your drones at all if you're not racing. And so that messed up the video for one of the pilots during the race. And the rule is that if you have any problems with video because of someone else during a race, the race is an automatic rerun, and my first place finish did not count. So even though I got first place on those first two races that I was racing in, that did not count. and I had to have a rerun, and I had to switch out my props really quickly. I had to put in a new battery that was a spare that I had. It wasn't one of the main ones that I was using, so I had to run back, and my heart rate was up pretty high because I had to redo that whole thing again. But here is that rerun of the track.
Arm 'em up, guys.
You kick up the leaves and the magic is lost. Tell me your blue skies fade to gray. Tell me your passion's gone away, and I don't need no carrying on. You stand in the line just to hit a new low. You're faking a smile with the coffee to go. And tell me your life's been way offline. You fall to pieces every time, and I don't need no carrying on. 'Cause you had a bad day, you take it one down, you sing a sad song just to turn it around. You say you don't know, you tell me don't lie, you're working a smile and you go for a ride. You had a bad day, the camera don't lie, you're coming back down and you really don't mind. You had a bad day, you had a bad day.
So if you're still here, I just wanted to roll some DVR of me practicing for champs. This is going to give you guys a great perspective on what actually racing in a championship is like, and then what racing for practice is like. Because in practice, the gates are smaller, the course is tighter, you can go a lot harder on the track, you can get some really good lines in. So it kind of goes to show that when it really counts, you really have to take a step back and go slow so that you don't crash. But here's some runs of me going pretty hard a couple days leading up to it. So there it is. That wraps up my 2020 MultiGP Championship experience. I had a lot of fun, especially that night. The racing was awesome. I made even a couple of dollars off of some $1 bets on some pilots. I think I flipped $1 into $9. So honestly, if I could be proud of anything this whole weekend, I'm proud that I made a few dollars off of just betting on some good pilots. Huge shout out to PhatkidFPV for winning. Did an awesome job. A lot of respect to him, a lot of respect for Neukel. You can see the DVR of some of his flights that I just showed, and he was putting up a great fight. And then obviously Heads Up FPV, Evan, who was the champion last year, he got second this championship. So but had a lot of fun, great experience, and would highly recommend anyone who's interested in FPV to get into FPV, to qualify and to go, because it was a lot of fun.
Neukel, but it doesn't happen right at that first line. Look at him, little loosey-goosey. Heads Up FPV is just ahead of Neukel, leading, putting the pressure on. And there is, look, a little bit of contact for Heads Up FPV. And oh no, Neukel going down, Heads Up FPV going down, and Phatkid is the only one in the air. Now Neukel gets back up, but Phatkid, take it easy, man. Take it. Neukel is down. We are running again. We're going to hand an ace to Phatkid if he gets through. Now Heads Up FPV.